shall we three meet again in thunder, lightning, or in rain?
When the hurly-burly's done, when the battle's lost and won.
That will be ere the set of sun.
Where the place?
Upon the heath.
Anon.
Have I not reason, beldams as you are, saucy and overbold? Will you now dare to trade and traffic with Macbeth in riddles and affairs of death? And I, the mistress of your charms, the close contriver of all harms, was never called to bear my part or show the glory of our art? You will make amends. Your vessels and your spells provide, your charms and everything beside. I am for the air this night I'll spend unto a dismal and fatal end, as by the strength of their illusion shall draw Macbeth to his confusion. Hark, I am called. My little spirit sea sits in a foggy cloud and stays for me.
Fair is foul and foul is fair. Hover through the fog and filthy air. Where hast thou been, sister?
Killing swine.
Sister, where thou?
A sailor's wife had chestnuts in her lap, and munched and munched and munched. Give me, quoth I, a rout these witched, and rumfed Ryan's cries.
I'll give thee a wind.
And I another.
Look what I have.
Show me, show me.
Here I have a pilot's thumb. Wrecked as homeward he did come.
A drum, Macbeth doth come.
The weird sisters, hand in hand,
Posters of the sea and land, thus do go about.
thrice to thine and thrice to mine, and thrice again to make up 9. Peace, the charms wound up.
So foul and fair a day I have not seen.
How far is called the forest? What are these, so withered and so wild in their attire, that look not like the inhabitants of the earth, and yet are on't? Live you, or are you aught that men may question? You seem to understand me, by each at once her chappy finger laying upon her skinny lips.
Speak, if you can. What are you?
All hail, Macbeth. Hail to thee, Thane of Glamis.
All hail, Macbeth. Hail to thee, Thane of Cawdor.
All hail Macbeth, that shalt be king hereafter.
Good sir, why do you start and seem to fear things that do sound so fair? In the name of truth, are ye fantastical, or that indeed which outwardly ye show? My noble partner you greet with present grace and great prediction of noble having and of royal hope, that he seems rapt withal. To me you speak not. If you can look into the seeds of time and say which grain will grow and which will not, speak then to me, who neither beg nor fear your favors nor your hate.
Hail.
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 Lesser than Macbeth and greater.
Not so happy, yet much happier.
Thou shalt get kings, though thou be none. So all hail Macbeth and Banquo.
Stay, you imperfect speakers, tell me more. By Sinel's death I know I am Thane of Glamis, but how of Cawdor? The Thane of Cawdor lives, and to be king stands not within the prospect of belief. Speak, I charge you. Into the air, would they had stayed.
Were such things here as we do speak about? Or have we eaten on the insane root?
Your children shall be kings.
You shall be king.
And Thane of Cawdor too, went it not so?
to the self-same tune and words. Who's here?
The king hath happily received, Macbeth, the news of thy success, and when he reads thy personal venture in the rebels' fight, his wonders and his praises do contend. Came post with post, and everyone did bear thy praises in his kingdom's great defence.
We are sent to give thee from our royal masters thanks.
And, for an earnest of great honour, he bade me, from him, call thee Thane of Cawdor. Hail, most worthy Thane, for it is thine.
Can the devil speak true?
The Thane of Cawdor lives. Why do you dress me in borrowed robes?
Who was the Thane lives yet, but under heavy judgment bears that life which he deserves to lose. Whether he was combined with those of Norway, or did lie in the rebel with hidden help and vantage, or that with both, he labored in his country's wreck.
Glamis and Thane of Cawdor. The greatest is behind. Thanks for your pains. Do you not hope your children shall be kings?
That trusted home might yet enkindle you unto the crown, besides the Thane of Cawdor. But 'tis strange, and oftentimes, when it's to our harm, instruments of darkness tell us truths. Cousins, a word I pray you.
Cannot be ill, cannot be good. If ill, why hath it given me earnest of success, commencing in a truth? I am Thane of Cawdor. If good, why do I yield to that suggestion whose horrid image doth unfix my hair, and make my seated heart knock at my ribs, against the use of nature? Present fears are less than horrible imaginings, and nothing is but what is not.
New horrors come upon him. Like our strange garments, cleave not to their mold, but with the aid of use.
Come what come may, time and the hour runs through the roughest day.
Worthy Macbeth, we stay upon your leisure.
Give me your favor, kind gentlemen. Let us toward the king. Think upon what hath chanced, and at more time, the interim having waited, let us speak our free hearts to each other.
Very gladly.
Till then, enough. Come, friends.
Is execution done on Cawdor? Are not those in commission yet returned?
My liege, they are yet not come back, but I have spoke with one that saw him die, who did report that very frankly he confessed his treasons, implored your highness's pardon, and set forth a deep repentance.
Nothing in his life became like the leaving it.
To find the mind's construction in the face, he was a gentleman on whom I built an absolute trust. O worthiest cousin, the sin of my ingratitude in thou was heavy on me. Thou art so far before that swiftest wing of recompense is slow to overtake thee. More is thy done than all can pay.
The service and the loyalty I owe in doing it pays itself. Our duties are to your throne and state.
Welcome hither. I have begun to plant thee, and will labor to make thee full of growing. Noble Banquo, that hast no less deserved, nor must be known, no less to have done so, let me enfold and hold thee to my heart.
There if I grow, the harvest is your own.
My plenteous joys, wanton in fullness, seek to hide themselves in drops of sorrow. Sons, kinsmen, thanes, and you, whose places are the nearest, know, we will establish our estate upon our eldest Malcolm, whom we name hereafter, the Prince of Cumberland, which honor must not unaccomplished invest him only.
I'll make joyful the hearing of my wife of your approach, so humbly take my leave.
My worthy Cawdor.
The Prince of Cumberland. That is a step on which I must fall down, or else leap, for in my way it lies. Stars, hide your fires, let not light see my black and deep desires.
True, worthy Banquo. He is full so valiant, and in his commendations I am fed. It is a banquet to me. Let's after him.
They met me in the day of success,
and I have learned by the perfectest report they have more in them than mortal knowledge. When I burned in desire to question them further, they made themselves air into which they vanished. Whilst I stood wrapped in the wonder of it, came missives from the king, who all hailed me Thane of Cawdor. This have I thought good to deliver thee, my dearest partner of greatness. Lay it to thy heart, and farewell. Glamis thou art, in Cawdor, and shalt be what thou art promised. Yet do I fear thy nature, it is too full of the milk of human kindness to catch the nearest way. Thou wouldest be great, art not without ambition, but without the illness should attend it.
The king comes here tonight.
If it were done when 'tis done, then 'twere well it were done quickly. He's here in double trust. First as I am his kinsman and his subject, strong both against the deed, then as his host, who should against his murderer shut the door, not bear the knife myself. I have no spur to prick the sides of my intent, but only vaulting ambition, which o'erleaps itself and falls on the other. How now? What news?
He has almost supped. Why have you left the chamber?
Hath he asked for me?
Know you not he has?
We will proceed no further in this business. He hath honored me of late, and I have bought golden opinions from all sorts of people, which would be worn now in their newest gloss, not cast aside so soon.
Was the hope drunk wherein you dressed yourself? Hath it slept since, and wakes it now to look so green and pale at what it did so freely? From this time such I account thy love. Art thou afeard to be the same in thine own act and valor as thou art in desire?
I dare do all that may become a man. Who dares do more is none.
What beast was it then that made you break this enterprise to me? When you durst do it, then you were a man. And to be more than what you were, you would be so much more the man. I have given suck, and know how tender 'tis to love the babe that milks me. I would, while it was smiling in my face, have plucked my nipple from its boneless gums and dashed the brains out, had I so sworn as you have done to this.
If we should fail.
We fail, but screw your courage to the sticking place, and will not fail. When Duncan is asleep, his 2 chamberlains will I with wine and wassail so convince that memory, the warder of the brain, shall be a fume. What cannot you and I perform upon the unguarded Duncan? What not put upon his spongy officers, who shall bear the guilt of our great quell?
Will it not be received when we have marked with blood those sleepy 2 of his own chamber and used their very daggers that they have done?
Who dares receive it other, as we shall make our griefs and clamor roar upon his death?
I am settled. Away and mock the time with fairest show. False face must hide what the false heart doth know.
How goes the night, boy?
The moon is down. I have not heard the clock.
And she goes down at 12.
I take 'tis later, sir.
Hold. Take my sword. There's husbandry in heaven. A heavy summons lies like lead upon me, and yet I would not sleep. Merciful powers restrain in me the cursed thoughts that nature gives way to in repose. Give me my sword. Who's there? What, sir? Not yet at rest? The king's abed. He hath been on unusual pleasure, and sent forth great largesse to your offices. All's well. I dreamt last night of the 3 weird sisters. To you they have showed some truth. At your kindest leisure. I lose none in seeking to augment it, but still keep my bosom franchised in allegiance clear, I shall be counselled. Thanks, sir. The likes to you.
That which hath made them drunk hath made me bold. What hath quenched them hath given me fire. Hark! Peace! It was the owl that shrieked, the fatal bellman which gives the sterns good night. I have drugged their possets, that death and nature do contend about them, whether they live or die.
Who's there? What ho?
Alack, I am afraid they have awaked, and 'tis not done. The attempt and not the deed confounds us. Hark! I laid their daggers ready, he could not miss 'em. Had he not resembled my father as he slept, I had done't. My husband!
I have done the deed. Didst thou hear a noise?
I heard the owl scream and the crickets cry. Did you not speak?
When?
Now.
As I descended?
Aye.
Hark! Who lies in the second chamber?
Donalbain.
This is a sorry sight.
A foolish thought to say a sorry sight.
There's one did laugh in his sleep, and one cried murder, that they did wake each other. I stood and heard them, but they did say their prayers and addressed them again to sleep.
There are two lodged together.
One cried, God bless us, and amen the other, as they had seen me with these hanged man's hands. Listening their fear, I could not say amen when they did say, God bless us.
Consider it not so deeply.
But wherefore could I not pronounce amen? I had most need of blessing and amen stuck in my throat.
These deeds must not be thought after these ways, so it will make us mad.
Methought I heard a voice cry, sleep no more. Macbeth does murder sleep.
What do you mean?
Still it cried, sleep no more to all the house. Macbeth shall sleep no more.
Who was it that thus cried? Why, worthy Thane, you do unbend your noble strength, to think so brain-sickly of things. Go get some water and wash this filthy witness from your hand. Why did you bring these daggers from the place? They must lie there. Go, carry them and smear the sleepy grooms with blood.
I am afraid to think what I have done. Look on't again I dare not.
Give me the daggers. The sleeping and the dead are but as pictures. 'Tis the eye of childhood that fears a painted devil.
Whence is that knocking? How is't with me when every noise appalls me? What hands are here? Ha! Will all great Neptune's ocean wash this blood clean from my hand?
My hands are of your color, but I shame to wear a heart so white. I hear a knocking at the south entry. Retire we to our chamber. A little waters clears us of this deed. Hark! More knocking. Get on your nightgown, lest occasion calls us, and show us to be watchers. Be not lost so poorly in your thoughts.
To know my deed, 'twere best not know myself. Wake Duncan with thy knocking, I would thou couldst!
Here's a knocking indeed. If a man were porter of Hellgate, he should have old turning the key. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there?
Was it so late, friend? Ere you went to bed, that you do lie so late?
Faith, sir, we were carousing till the second cock.
I believe drink gave thee the lie last night.
That it did, sir.
Good morrow, noble sir.
Good morrow, both.
Is the king stirring, worthy Thane?
Not yet.
He did command me to call timely on him. I have almost slipped the hour.
I'll bring you to him.
I know this is a joyful trouble to you, but yet 'tis one.
The labor we delight in physics pain. This is the door.
I'll make so bold to call.
Goes the king hence today?
He did appoint so.
The night has been unruly. Where we lay, our chimneys were blown down, and as they say, lamentings heard i' the air. Strange screams of death and prophesying with accents terrible, of dire combustion and confused events clamored the livelong night. Some say the earth was feverous and did shake.
'Twas a rough night.
Oh, horror, horror, horror! Tongue nor heart cannot conceive nor name thee. Confusion now hath made his masterpiece. Most sacrilegious murder hath broke ope. The Lord's anointed temple and stole thence the life of the building.
What is't you say? The life?
Mean you, his majesty?
Approach the chamber and destroy your sight. With the new Gorgon, do not bid me speak. See, and then speak yourselves. Awake! Awake! Ring the alarm bell! Murder! Treason! Banquo and Donalbain, Malcolm, awake! Shake off this stony sleep, death's counterfeit, and look on death itself.
What's the business that such a hideous trumpet calls to parley? The sleepers of the house. Speak, speak!
O gentle lady, 'tis not for you to hear what I can speak. The repetition in a woman's ear would murder as it fell. O Banquo, Banquo, our royal masters, murdered.
Woe! Alas! What, in our house?
Too cruel anywhere. Dear Duff, I pray thee contradict thyself, and say it is not so.
From this instant, there's nothing serious in mortality. All is but toys. Renown and grace is dead.
What is amiss?
You are and do not note. The spring, the head, the fountain of your blood is stopped. The very source of it is stopped.
Your royal father is murdered.
Oh? By whom?
Those of his chamber, as it seemed, had done't. Their hands and faces were all badged with blood. So were their daggers, which unwiped we found upon their pillows.
Oh, yet I do repent me of my fury that I did kill them.
Wherefore did you so?
Here lay Duncan, his silver skin laced with his golden blood, and his gashed stabs looked like a breach in nature. Who could refrain that had a heart to love?
Help me! Hence ho!
Look to the lady.
What should be spoken here, where a fate hidden augur hole may rush and seize us? Let's away. Our tears are not yet brewed.
Nor our strong sorrow upon the foot of motion. Look to the lady, and when we have our naked frailties hid that suffer an exposure, let us meet and question this most bloody piece of work to know it further. Fears and scruples shake us. In the great hand of God I stand, and thence against the undivulged pretense I fight of treasonous malice.
And so do I. So all.
Let's briefly put on manly readiness and meet in the hall together.
What will you do? Let's not consort with them. To show an unfelt sorrow is an office which the false man does easy. I'll to England.
To Ireland I, our separate fortunes shall keep us both the safer. Where we are, there's daggers and men's smiles, the near in blood, the near bloody.
"Threescore and 10, I can remember well. within the volume of which time I've seen hours dreadful and things strange, but this sore night hath trifled former knowings.
Ah, good father, thou seest the heavens, as troubled with man's act, threaten his bloody stage. By the clock 'tis day, and yet dark night strangles the travelling lamp. Is it the night's predominance, or the day's shame that darkness does the face of earth entomb, when living light should kiss it?
'Tis unnatural, even like the deed that's done. On Tuesday last, a falcon, towering in her pride of place, was by a mousing owl hawked at and killed.
And Duncan's horses turned wild in nature, broke their stalls, flung out, contending they would make war with mankind. Here comes the good Macduff. How goes the world, sir, now?
Why, see you not?
Is it known who did this more than bloody deed?
Those that Macbeth hath slain.
Alas the day, what good could they pretend?
They were suborned. Malcolm and Donalbain, the king's 2 sons, are stone away and fled, which puts upon them suspicion of the deed.
'Gainst nature still, thriftless ambition, that wilt raven up thine own life's means. Then 'tis most like the sovereignty will fall upon Macbeth.
He is already named, and gone to Scone to be invested.
Where's Duncan's body?
Carried to Calmkill, a sacred storehouse of his predecessors, and guardian of their bones.
Will you to Scone?
No, cousin. I'll to Fife.
Well, I will thither.
Well, may you see things well done there. Adieu, lest our old robes sit easier than our new.
Farewell, father.
God's benison go with you, and with those that would make good of bad, and friends of foes.
Thou hast it now. King Codro Glamis, all as the weird woman promised. And I fear thou playedst most foully for it. It was said it should not stand in thy posterity, but that myself should be the root and father of many kings. If there come truth from them, as upon thee, Macbeth, their speeches shine, why, by the verities on thee made good, may they not be my oracles as well, and set me up in hope? But hush, no more.
Here's our chief guest.
If he had been forgotten, it had been as a gap in our great feast, and all thing unbecoming.
Tonight we hold a solemn supper, sir, and I'll request your presence.
Let your highness commend upon me, to the which my duties are with a most indissoluble tie forever knit.
Ride you this afternoon?
Aye, my good lord.
Is't far you ride?
As far, my lord, as will fill up the time twixt this and supper. Go not my horse the better, I must become a borrower of the night for a dark hour or twain.
Fail not our feast.
My lord, I will not.
We here, our bloody cousins, are not confessing their cruel parricide, filling their hearers with strange invention. But of that tomorrow. Hie you to horse, adieu. Goes Fleance with you?
Aye, my good lord. Our time does call upon us.
I wish your horses swift and sure of foot. Farewell. Let every man be master of his time, till 7 at night. God be with you. Sirrah, a word with you. Attend those men our pleasure.
They are, my lord, without the palace gate.
Bring them before us. To be thus is nothing, but to be safely thus. Our fears in Banquo stick deep, and in his royalty of nature reigns that which would be feared. There is none but he whose being I do fear, and under him my genius is rebuked. He chid the sisters when first they put the name of king upon me. Then prophet-like they hailed him father to a line of kings. For Banquo's issue have I filed my mind. For them the gracious Duncan have I murdered. Who's there? Now go to the door and stay there. Was it not yesterday we spoke together?
It was so. Please, your highness.
Well then now, have you considered my speeches? That it was he in the times past which held you so under fortune, which you thought had been our innocent self. Thus did Banquo.
You made it known to us.
I did so and went further, which is now our point of second meeting. Do you find your patience so predominant in your nature that you can let this go and beggar yours forever?
We are men, my liege.
Aye, in the category ye go for men. Now in the worst rank of manhood, say it. And I will put that business in your bosoms, whose execution takes your enemy off, which in his death were perfect.
I am one, my liege, whom the vile blows and buffets of the world have so incensed that I am reckless what I do despite the world.
And I another, so weary with disasters tugged with the fortune, that I would set my lie on any chance to mend or to rid on it.
Both of you know Banquo was your enemy.
True, my lord.
So is he mine, and though I could with barefaced power sweep him from my sight, yet I must not, for certain friends that are both his and mine, whose loves I may not drop, but wail his fall, who I myself struck down, and thence it is that I to your assistance do make love.
We shall, my lord, perform what you command us.
Though our lives?
Your spirits shine through you. Leave no rubs nor botches in the work. Fleance, his son, whose absence is no less material to me than is his father's, must embrace the fate of that dark hour.
We are resolved, my lord.
I'll call upon you straight. Abide within. It is concluded. Banquo, thy soul's flight, if it find heaven, must it find out tonight.
But who did bid thee join with us?
Macbeth.
He needs not our mistrust, since he delivers our offices and what we have to do to the direction just.
Then stand with us. The west yet glimmers with some streaks of day. Now spur the little traveller apace, to gain the timely in and near approaches the subject of our watch.
Hark, I hear Banquo.
Give us a light there, Ho.
Then 'tis he. The rest that are within the note of expectation already are in the court.
His car is stopped. Almost a mile. But he does usually, so all men do from hence to the palace gate make it their walk.
A light, a light.
'Tis he.
Stand to it.
It will be rain tonight.
Let it come down.
Oh, treachery! Fly, good Fleance. Fly, fly. Thou mayst revenge. Oh, slave!
You know your own degrees. Sit down. At first and last, the hearty welcome.
Thanks to your majesty.
Ourself will mingle with society and play the humble host.
To all our friends, for my heart speaks they are welcome.
See they encounter thee with their heart's thanks. Anon will drink a measure the table round. There was blood on thy face.
'Tis Banquo's then.
Is he dispatched?
My lord, his throat is cut, that I did for him.
Thou art the best of the cutthroats, yet he's good. That did the like for Fleance.
Most royal sir, Fleance has scaped.
Then comes my fit again. I had else been perfect, but now I am bound in to saucy doubts and fears. But Banquo's safe.
Aye, my good lord, safe in a ditch he bides, with 20 trench gashes on his head, the least a death to nature.
Thanks for that. There the grown serpent lies. The worm that's fled hath nature that in time will venom breed. No teeth for the present. Get thee gone. We'll hear ourselves again.
My royal lord, you do not give the cheer. The feast is sold, meeting were bare without it.
Sweet remembrance, sir. Now good digestion wait on appetite and health on both.
May it please your highness sit.
Here had we now our country's honor roofed, were the graced person of our Banquo present.
His absence, sir, lays blame upon his promise. Pleased your highness to grace us with your royal company.
The table's full.
Here is a place reserved, sir.
Where?
Here, my good lord, what is't that moves your highness?
Which of you have done this?
What, my good lord?
Thou canst say I did this. Never shake thy gory locks at me.
Gentlemen, rise. His highness is not well.
Sit, worthy friends. My lord is often thus, and hath been from his youth. Pray you, keep seat. He will again be well, if you much note him. You shall offend him and extend his passion. Feed and regard him not. Are you a man?
I, and a bold one, that dare look on that which might appall the devil.
Oh, proper stuff! This is the very painting of your fear. This is the air-drawn dagger which you said led you to Duncan. When all's done, you look but on a stool.
Prithee, see there! Behold, look! Lo, how say you? Why, what care I if thou canst not speak too?
What, quite unmanned in folly?
If I stand here, I saw him.
Fie for shame!
Blood hath been shed ere now, in the olden time, aye, and since 2 murders have been performed too terrible for the ear. But now they rise again.
My worthy lord, your noble friends do lack you.
I do forget. Do not muse at me, my most worthy friends. I have a strange infirmity, which is nothing to those that know me. Give me some wine, fill full. I drink to the general joy of the table, and to our dear friend Banquo, whom we miss. Would he were here. Avaunt, and quit my sight, let the earth hide thee! Thou hast no speculation in those eyes which thou dost glare with.
Think of this, good peers, but as a thing of custom 'tis no other, only it spoils the pleasure of the time.
What man dare I dare take any shape but that? In my firm nerves, if trembling I inhabit, then protest me the baby of a girl. Hence, horrible shadow, unreal mockery, hence!
You have displaced the mirth, broke the good meeting with the most admired disorder.
Can such things be and overcome us like a summer's cloud without our special wonder? You make me strange and keep the natural ruby of your cheeks when mine is blanched with fear.
What sights, my lord?
I pray you, speak not. He grows worse and worse. Question enrages him.
It will have blood, they say. Blood will have blood. What is the night?
Almost at odds with morning, which is which?
How say'st thou that Macduff denies his person at our great bidding?
Did you send to him, sir?
I hear it, by the way, but I will send. I will tomorrow to the weird sisters. More shall they speak, for now I'm bent to know.
You lack the season of all natures, sleep.
Why, how now, Hecate?
He will come to know his destiny. He shall spurn fate, scorn death, and bear, he hopes, above wisdom, grace, and fear. And you all know, security is mortal's chiefest enemy. Music and a song within, come away, come away. Hark, I'm called. My little spirit sea sits in a foggy cloud and stays for me.
Come, let's make haste.
The gracious Duncan was pitied of Macbeth, marry he was dead, and the right valiant Banquo walked too late. Whom you may say, if 't please you, Fleance killed for Fleance fled. Men must not walk too late.
Who cannot want the thought how monstrous it was for Malcolm and for Donalbain to kill their gracious father? Damned fact, how it did grieve Macbeth. Did he not straight in pious rage the 2 delinquents tear, that were the slaves of drink and thralls of sleep? Was not that nobly done? And wisely too?
For 'twould have angered any heart alive to hear the men deny it. So that, I say, he has borne all things well. And I do think that had he Duncan's sons under his key, they should find what 'twere to kill a father.
So should Fleance. I hear Macduff lives in disgrace. Sir, can you tell me where he bestows himself?
The son of Duncan, from whom this tyrant holds the due of birth, lives in the English court and is received of the most pious Edward.
Thither Macduff is gone to pray the holy king upon his aid, that by the help of these, with him above to ratify the work, we may again give to our tables meat, sleep to our nights, free from our feasts and banquets' bloody knives.
All which we pine for now, and this report hath so exasperate the king that he prepares for some attempt of war.
Sent he to Macduff?
He did, and with an absolute "Sir, not I," the cloudy messenger turns me his back.
Advise him to a caution, to hold what distance his wisdom can provide. Some holy angel fly to the court of England and unfold his message ere he come, that a swift blessing may soon return to this our suffering country under a hand accursed.
I'll send my prayers with him.
Thrice the brinded cat hath mewed, thrice and once the hedge pig whined. Harp your cries, 'tis time, 'tis time.
Round about the cauldron go, in the poisoned inshroll's throw.
Toad that under cold stone, days and nights hath 31.
Sweltered venom sleeping got, boil thou first in the charmed pot.
Double toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble.
For a charm of powerful trouble, like a hell broth boil and bubble.
Double toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Scale of dragon, tooth of wolf, witch's mummy, maw and gulf, of the ravened salt sea shark, root of hemlock digged in the dark.
Silvered in the moon's eclipse.
Nose of Turk and Tartar's lips.
Finger of birth-strangled babe.
Make the gruel thick and slab.
Add thereto a tiger's chaudron for the ingredients of our cauldron.
Double toil and trouble, fire burn, cauldron bubble. Cool it with bad blood.
Good.
Then the charm is firm and good.
Oh, well done. I commend your pains, and everyone shall share in the gains. And now about the cauldron sing. Live elves and fairies in a ring, enchanting all that you put in.
By the pricking of my thumbs,
something wicked this way comes.
Open, locks.
Whoever knocks.
How now, you secret black and midnight hags? What is't you do?
A deed without a name.
I conjure you, by that which you profess, howe'er you come to know it, answer me to what I ask you.
Speak.
Demand.
We'll answer.
Say if thou'st rather hear it from our mouths or from our masters.
Call him. Let me see him.
Porn sow's blood that hath eaten.
Her 9 Pharaoh, grease that sweeten.
Into the flame.
Come high or low, thyself and all his steps we show.
Tell me, thou unknown power.
He knows thy thought. Hear his speech, but say thou not.
Macbeth, Macbeth, Macbeth. Beware Macduff, beware the Thane of Fife.
Whate'er thou art for thy good caution thinks, but one word more.
He will not be commanded. Here's another, more potent than the first.
Macbeth, Macbeth, Macbeth.
Had I 3 ears, I'd hear thee. Then live, Macduff. What need I fear of thee? Thou shalt not live. What is this that rises like the issue of a king, and wears upon his baby brow the round and top of sovereignty?
Listen, but speak not to it.
Be lion-mettled, proud, and take no care who chafes, who frets, or where conspirers are. Macbeth shall never vanquished be, until great Birnam Wood to high Dunsinane Hill shall come against him.
That will never be. Who can impress the forest, bid the tree unfix his earthbound root? Yet my heart throbs to know one thing. Tell me if your art can tell so much, shall Banquo's issue ever reign in this kingdom?
Seek to know more.
No more.
Show.
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 Show his eyes and grieve his heart. Come like shadows, so depart.
Thou art too like the spirit of Banquo. Thy crown does sear mine eyeballs, and thy hair, thou other gold-bound brow, is like the first. A third is like the former. Filthy hags, why do you show me this? A fourth, star to eyes. What will the line stretch out to the crack of doom? Another yet, a seventh. Yet the eighth appears, who bears a glass. Horrible sight! Now I see 'tis true, for the blood-boltered Banquo smiles upon me and point at them for this. What, is this so?
Aye, sir, all this is so. But why stands Macbeth thus amazedly? Come, sisters, we cheer up his sprites, and show the best of our delights.
I'll charm the air to give a sound while you perform your antic round, that this great king may kindly say, our duties did his welcome pay.
Where are they? Gone?
What, your grace?
Saw you the weird sisters?
No, my lord.
Came they not by you?
No, indeed, my lord.
'Tis 2 or 3, my lord, that bring you word Macduff is fled to England.
Fled to England?
Aye, my good lord.
Time, thou anticipatest my dread exploits. The castle of Macduff I will surprise, seize upon a fife, give to the edge of the sword his wife, his babes, and all unfortunate souls that trace him in his line.
Let us seek out some desolate shade, and there weep our sad bosoms empty.
Let us rather hold fast the murder sword, and like good men bestride our downfallen birthdom. Each new morn, new widow's howl, new orphan's cry, new sorrows strike heaven on the face.
What I believe, what I know believe, and what I can redress, this tyrant whose sole name blisters our tongues was once thought honest. You have loved him well. He hath not touched you yet. I am young, but something you may deserve of him through me, and wise to offer up a weak, poor, innocent lamb to appease an angry god.
I am not treacherous.
But Macbeth is, and I shall crave your pardon that which you are my thoughts cannot transpose. Angels are bright still, though the brightest fell. Though all things foul would wear the brows of grace, yet grace still looks so.
I have lost my hopes.
Perchance even there where I find my doubts. Why in that rawness you left wife and child, those precious motives, those strong knots of love, without leave-taking? I pray you, let not my jealousies be your dishonors, but mine own safeties. You may be rightly just, whatever I shall think.
Bleed, bleed, poor country, great tyranny, lay thou thy bases sure, for goodness dare not sheik thee. Wear thou thy wrongs, the title is afeard. Fare thee well, lord, I would not be the villain that thou think'st, for the whole space that's in the tyrant's grasp, and the rich east to boot.
Be not offended. I speak not as in absolute fear of you. I think our country sinks beneath the yoke. It weeps, it bleeds, and each day a gash is added to her wounds. But for all this, when I shall tread upon the tyrant's head, or wear it on my sword, yet my poor country shall have more vices than it had before.
What should he be?
It is myself, I mean, in whom I know all the particulars of vice, so grafted that when they shall be opened, black Macbeth will seem as pure as snow.
None of the legions of horrid hell can come a devil more damned in evils to top Macbeth. See, who comes here?
Sir, amen.
Stand Scotland where it did.
Alas, poor country, almost afraid to know itself. It cannot be called our mother, but our grave, where nothing but who knows nothing is once seen to smile, and good men's lives expire before the flowers in their caps, dying or ere they sicken.
Oh, relation, too nice and yet too true.
What's the newest grief?
How does my wife?
Let not your ears despise my tongue forever. Your castle is surprised, your wife and babes savagely slaughtered. To relate the manner were, on the quarry of these murdered deer, to add the death of you.
My children too?
Wife, children, servants, all that could be found.
And I must be from thence. My wife killed too?
I have said.
Be comforted. Let's make us medicines of our great revenge to cure this deadly grief.
He has no children. All my pretty ones? Did you say all? Oh, Helkide, all? What? All my pretty chickens in their dam at one fell swoop.
Dispute it like a man.
I shall do so. But I must also feel it as a man. I cannot but remember such things were, that were the most precious to me. Did heaven look on, and would not take their part? Sinful Macduff! They were all struck for heel, not that I am. Not for their own demerits, but for mine. Though slaughter on their souls, heaven rest them now.
Be this the whetstone of your sword. Let grief convert to anger. Blunt not the heart, enrage it.
Oh, I could play the woman with mine eyes, and braggart with my tongue. But, gentle heavens, cut short all intermissions, front to front. Bring thou this fiend of Scotland and myself within my sword's length, set him. If he escape, heaven forgive him too.
This tune goes manly. Come, we go to the king. Our power is ready. Our lack is nothing but our leave. Macbeth is ripe for shaking, and the powers above put on their instruments. Receive what cheer you may. The night is long that never finds the day.
I have 2 nights watched with you, but can perceive no truth in your report. When was it she last walked?
Since His Majesty went into the field, I have seen her rise from her bed, throw her nightgown upon her, unlock her closet, take forth paper, fold it, write upon it, read it, afterwards seal it, and again return to bed, yet all this while in a most fast sleep.
A great perturbation in nature, to receive at once the benefit of sleep and do the effects of watching. In this slumbery agitation, besides her walking and other actual performances, what at any time have you heard her say?
That, sir, which I will not report after her.
You may to me, and 'tis most meet you should.
Neither to you nor to anyone, having no witness to confirm my speech. Lo you, here she comes, this her very guise, and upon my life, fast asleep. Observe her, stand close.
How came she by that light?
Why, it stood by her. She has light by her continually. 'Tis her command.
You see, her eyes are open.
Aye, but their senses shut.
What is it she does now? Look, how she rubs her hands.
It is an accustomed action with her, to seem thus washing her hands. I have known her to continue in this quarter of an hour.
Yet, here's a spot. Hark! She speaks. I will set down what comes from her, to satisfy my remembrance the more strongly.
Out, damned spot! Out, I say! 1, 2, why then 'tis time to do't. Hell is murky! Fie, my lord, fie! A soldier and a feared? What need we fear who knows it, when none can call our power to account? Yet who would have thought the old man to have so much blood in him?
Do you mark that?
The Thane of Fife had a wife. Where is she now? What will these hands ne'er be clean? No more of that, my lord, no more of that. You mar all with this starting.
Go to. You have known what you should not.
She has spoke what she should not. I am sure of that. Heaven knows what she has known.
Here's the smell of blood still. All the perfumes of Arabia will not sweeten this little hand.
What a sigh is there? The heart is sorely charged.
I would not have such a heart in my bosom for the dignity of the whole body.
Well, well, well.
Pray God it be, sir.
This disease is beyond my practice. Yet, I have known those which have walked in their sleep, who have died holily in their beds.
Wash your hands. Put on your nightgown. Look not so pale. I tell you yet again, Banquo is buried. He cannot come out on's grave. To bed. To bed. There's knocking at the gate. Come, 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 give me your hand. What's done cannot be undone. To bed. 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 To bed.
Will she go now to bed? Foul whisperings are abroad. Unnatural deeds do breed unnatural troubles, infected minds. To their deaf pillows will discharge their secrets. More needs she the divine than the physician. God, God, forgive us all. Look after her. Remove from her the means of all annoyance. And still keep eyes upon her. So, good night. My mind she has mated and amazed my sight. I think, but dare not speak.
Good night, good doctor.
Bring me no more reports. Let them fly all. Till Burnham Wood remove to Dunsinane, I cannot taint with fear. What's the boy Malcolm? Was he not born of woman? The spirits that know all mortal consequences have pronounced me thus. Fear not, Macbeth. No man that's born of woman shall e'er have power upon thee. Where goest thou that goose look?
There is 10,000.
Geese, villain! Ha!
Soldiers, sir.
What soldiers, Patch? Death of thy soul, what soldiers, Wayface?
The English force, so please you.
Seaton, I've lived long enough. My way of life has fallen into the sear, the yellow leaf. And that which should accompany old age is honor, love, obedience, troops of friends I must not look to have, but in their stead, curses, not loud but deep, mouth honor, breath, which the poor heart would fain deny, and dare not. Seaton!
What is your gracious pleasure?
What news more?
All is confirmed, my lord, which was reported.
Give me my armor.
'Tis not needed yet.
I'll put it on. Give me mine armor. How does your patient, doctor?
Not so sick, my lord, as she is troubled with thick-coming fancies that keep her from her rest.
Cure her of that. Canst thou not minister to a mind diseased, and with some sweet oblivious antidote cleanse this stuffed bosom of that perilous stuff which weighs upon the heart?
Therein the patient must minister to himself.
Throw physics to the dogs, I'll none of it. If thou couldst, doctor, cast the water of my land, find her disease, and purge it to a sound and pristine health, I would applaud thee to the very echo that should applaud again.
Aye, my good lord, your royal preparation makes us hear something.
Bring it after me. I will not be afraid of death and bane till Burnham Forest come to Dunsinane.
Were I from Dunsinane away and clear,
Prophet again should hardly draw me here.
Hang out our banners on the outward walls. The cry is still, they come. Our castle's strength will laugh a siege to scorn. Were they not forced with those that should be ours, we might have met them dareful, beard to beard, and beat them backward home. What is that noise?
It is the cry of women, my good lord.
I have almost forgot the taste of fears. I have supped full with horrors. Direness familiar to my slaughterous thoughts cannot once start me. Wherefore was that cry?
The queen, my lord, is dead.
She should have died hereafter. There would have been time for such a word. Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day, and all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Out, out, brief candle, life's but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Thy story quickly. Liar and slave! If thou speak'st false, upon the next tree shalt thou hang alive till famine cling thee. I pull in resolution, and begin to doubt the equivocation of the fiend that lies like truth. Fear not till Burnham Wood do come to Dunsinane, and now a wood comes toward Dunsinane. If this which he avouches does appear, there is nor flying hence nor tarrying here. I begin to be weary of the sun, in which the estate of the world were now undone. They have tied me to the stake. I cannot fly, but bear-like I must fight this course. What's he that was not born of woman? Such a one am I to fear or none.
What is thy name?
Thou'lt be afraid to hear it.
No, though thou callest thyself a hotter name than any is in hell.
My name's Macbeth.
The devil himself could not pronounce a title more hateful to mine ear.
No, nor more fearful.
Thou liest, abhorred tyrant. With my sword I'll prove the lie thou speakst.
Thou wast born of woman. But swords I smile at, weapons laugh to scorn, brandished by man that's of a woman born.
That way the noise is. Tyrant, show thy face. If thou best slain with no stroke of mine, my wife and children's ghosts will haunt me still. I cannot strike at wretched corns, whose arms are hired to bear their staves. Neither thou, Macbeth, who art my sword with an unbattered edge. I sheathe again, undeeded. There thou shouldst be. By this great clatter, one of my greatest note seems bruited. Let me find him, fortune, and more I beg not.
Why should I play the Roman fool and die on my own sword? While I see lives, the gashes do better upon them.
Turn, hellhound, turn!
Of all men else I have avoided thee, but get thee back. My soul is too much charged with blood of thine already.
I have no words. My voice is in my sword. Thou bloodier villain than terms can give thee out.
Thou losest labor. I bear a charmed life which must not yield to one of woman born.
Despair thy charm, and let the angel whom thou still hast served tell thee, Macduff was from his mother's womb, untimely ripped.
Accursed be that tongue that tells me so, for it hath cowed my better part of man. I will not fight with thee.
Then yield thee, coward, and live to be the show and gaze of the time. We'll have thee as our rarer monsters are, painted on a pole and underwrit. Here may you see the tyrant.
I will not yield to kiss the ground before young Malcolm's feet, and to be baited with the rabble's curse. Before my body I throw my warlike shield. Lay on, Macduff, and damned be him that first cries, hold enough.
I would the friends we miss were safe arrive.
Some must go off, and yet by these I see, so great a day as this is cheaply bought.
Macduff is missing, and my noble brother.
Your brother, my lord, has paid a soldier's debt. He only lived but till he was a man. The which no sooner had his prowess confirmed in the unshrinking station where he fought, but like a man he died.
Then he is dead?
Aye, your cause of sorrow must not be measured by his worth, for then it hath no end.
Had he his hurts before?
Aye, on the front.
Why then, God's soldier be he. Had I as many brothers as I have hairs, I would not wish them to a fairer death.
He's worth more sorrow, and that I'll spend for him.
He's worth no more. They say he parted well, and paid his score, and so, God be with him. Here comes newer comfort.
Hail, King, for so thou art. Behold, where stands the usurper's cursed head. The time is free. I see thee compassed with thy kingdom's pearl, that speak my salutation in their minds, whose voices I desire aloud with mine. Hail, King of Scotland!
We should not spend a large expense of time before we reckon with your several loves, and make us even with you. My thanes and kinsmen henceforth be earls, the first that ever Scotland in such an honour named. What's more to do, which would be planted newly with the time, as calling home our exiled friends abroad, that fled the snares of watchful tyranny, producing forth the cruel ministers of this dead butcher and his fiend-like queen, who, as 'tis thought, by selfish and violent hands took off her life. This, and what needful else that calls upon us by the grace of grace, we will perform in measure, time, and place. So thanks to all at once, and to each one whom we invite to see us crowned at Scone.